I'm Lamont Sanders, and this is Gospel Goodies Radio on Philly's Favor 100.7. If you missed this past week's headlines, Aaliyah and Marie are here with what you missed. What's good, Aaliyah?
So here's what's happening in entertainment. Adrienne Halton, the Real co-host and wife of gospel singer Israel Halton, got emotional during a segment on the show earlier this week when the ladies discussed Carl Lentz's firing from Hillsong Church and his admission that he'd had an affair. Adrienne said, quote, "I was getting emotional this morning just talking about it because I know Carl. Not super personal on that level. My husband knows him better than I do, but I actually went to the Hillsong Church in New York, and I know the impact he had on my life. And I can truly say that Carl was a part of me wanting to come back to church. So while it's disappointing, we can all be disappointed. No one is more disappointed than his family and wife, but let's not erase all the good that he did," end quote. Carl Lentz served as the pastor of Hillsong NYC during its foundational years, starting in 2010 up until his termination this month. The pastor and the Hillsong name drew thousands of people to the church, which was held at Irving Plaza in Manhattan during its inception, and it was a church by day and a nightclub by night. Carl Lentz also officiated the wedding of Justin Bieber, so our healing prayers are with him, his family, and the Hillsong New York Church. In other news, according to the Los Angeles Times, Sony announced on Thursday that it is buying the popular Christian streaming service Pure Flix, which launched in 2015 in order to expand its reach with Christian audiences. The faith-based streaming service will be owned by Sony's subsidiary company, Affirm Entertainment, but the Arizona-based production company PureFlix Entertainment, which launched the streaming platform, will not be a part of Sony's purchase. And lastly, congratulations are in order for BB Winans, Kirk Franklin, Corinne Hawthorne, Marvin Sapp, PJ Morton, and the Clark sisters. They've all been nominated for a Soul Train Award for Best Gospel and Inspirational Artist this year. The 2020 Soul Train Awards, hosted by Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold, airs on Sunday, November 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BET. Marie, what's good in Philly, national, and sports news?
President Donald Trump acknowledged for the first time on Sunday that Joe Biden won the presidential election, but the president refused to concede and blamed his loss on a string of conspiracy theories. Most news networks declared Biden the victor more than a week ago. Since the call was made, Biden was given a victory speech. He's given a victory speech and have gotten his transition team up and running. But Trump, who has questioned the validity of the election before votes had even been cast, is continuing to dig in his heels on unsupported legal challenges lodged by his allies over vote counts in several states, and asserting that the fight has only begun. Quote, "He won only because the election was rigged," end quote. Trump said, "I concede nothing. We have a long way to go." The tweets from Trump followed a Saturday spent golfing and tweeting similar false conspiracy theories and driving by a crowd of his supporters who gathered in Washington, D.C. to protest the election results on the basis of his lies and propaganda. In local news, the city of Philadelphia is planning a new round of restrictions after a record spike in new cases. On Friday alone, the city recorded 1,100 new cases. Compare that to a day in early September when the city had only 25 cases. Cases among younger people are on the rise, but they're seeing milder symptoms. Hospitalizations are also on the rise, but the city is seeing fewer deaths because of better treatments. On Friday, the city's health commissioner wouldn't go into the details about which businesses would be impacted, but he said they're seeing a spread in households and social gatherings, workplaces, and restaurants. And in sports, the Phillies announced that the former third baseman Kim Baptiste died last month at the age of 52 after complications from kidney surgery. He was best known as a role player on the 1993 World Series squad. I'm Marie, and you're listening to Gospel Goodies Radio on Philly's Favor 100.7. For these stories and more, follow us on social media at Marie Brown Moore, at Gospel Goodies, and at Philly's Favor. Visit phillysfavor.com and download the Philly's Favor app.